I think it can be pretty good if it does what it needs to do. It's kind of interesting. This list has been around for a little bit. Now it gains the Ink Geyser to do its thing. It has Pete to try to just constantly answer your or your items. I'm quite interested to see how it does. I think it has the potential. I like it. It looks a lot like the list Sailor is running. It's kind of a mixture of the traditional DKP burn and the Sisu on ice. It's like the middle ground in between the two. All right, so as soon as you said Magozi, I was just like, oh, Minguchi and from MTG, like, so I do know that name, so I should have been able to pronounce that right. So we'll put that on my poor education. That is a me issue. Yep. He's gonna be trying to keep the popsicle Flaversham and send everything else back going for that ramp. It's really important to hit that turn 2 ramp. I'm a little interested that Mo is deciding to keep the coil, unless he's okay. I think he's mulling the or altering the cards on the left. Maybe would make more sense, and keeping the cards on the right possibly. There's a couple cards in each of those piles that I don't know if I'm necessarily a huge fan of necessarily keeping. Like, I don't think he needs Kit here. That said, there's definitely something worth, or it's worth saying, keeping cards that you never want to see as ink. So he keeps it now, inks it, doesn't have to worry about top decking a Kit Cloud Kicker partway through the game. Oh,
quite soon if you get that double ramp option with the TPO into the one jump
JDZ.
ahead. What's that?
How long do you think your mic was muted? The whole time?
Oh no, Luke, baby. Oh no. Luke, every time you got. Oh man,
I think
we
I
talked
muted
about
it.
this.
I muted it when we had the screen on earlier
Oh no,
because we didn't want to hear us while we were setting things up, and I
Luke,
swear I had muted
baby.
it, but I didn't.
No.
They didn't get to hear you correct me mispronouncing the name and then say it properly, or
Oh
doing
man.
the great beginning thing. Man, I am.
It's
I
okay.
was like, all right, we got the stream out yesterday where we messed it up.
It's
Out of
okay.
the
We had
way,
a
but
nice beautiful intro, but we'll try to recap. It looks like we got Mo Shamblin, who is top 8 of Nats. I'm getting some feedback in. I can hear something happening.
yeah, just right click mute the person who just joined Discord. Yeah, so Mo decided to send back a kit, got one back anyway, so he's going to get that ink. And it's worth noting that, like, yes, it's good to keep the ink sometimes, but he's playing shift lines, and he has cards he's directly looking for. And when that's the case, you do just keep the 1 or 2, and you heavily, aggressively mulligan. Similar to what Federico did. He like mulled a whole bunch going for the ramp, and he hit it.
Mm. And it does work out like that sometimes. Sometimes you gotta risk it for the biscuit, as it
Did
does
he
work out. So it
ink the
looks
popsicle?
um he
Did he end up
might
mulling the
have.
popsicle and I didn't pay attention? The muting thing just got me.
It's all good. It's early, man. This is early morning here. As we, it's always going to be some kind of tech issue. I noticed with the LCCC. I'd be surprised if there's ever an event that happens in the LCCC without some kind of technological indifference. But we're going to power
Delays.
through. That's that's the beauty of going with delays. But it's okay. So we'll try to recap and talk about what we spoke about in the intro. We just mentioned the deck list that both of these players are playing, and we just talk about some of their accolades that they've had up until this point. Both of these players are worlds qualified. Okay, as Federico has won DLC in Birmingham, and Mo Shamlin topped 8 the national tournament here in North America. So this could be a preview of what we can see in the World Championship. Mo Shamlin typically playing the Amethyst and Emerald strategy, electing to go with the Amethyst or the Emerald Sapphire strategy here. And I think this deck is really cool. It's not playing Bent to My Will. It's not playing Under the Sea, but you are going to lean on the Ink Geyser in order to probably try to gain some type of advantage with that. It might come up quite kind of good in this Sapphire mirror, as Sapphire is going to be a prevalent color in this strategy. We'll go with the Tipo. We'll get him in, and we'll go ahead and start ramping here and pass back on over to Federico, who's playing Ruby Sapphire. Ruby Sapphire, again, as you stated before the muting happened, this is very similar to the strategy that Sailor is playing, but you're not in on any top end, no Tamatoas at all. You're just leaning on the Sisu, the Coil, and the Sisu in order to defend the board and try to shark your way in with this Pirate's Life combination to finish it off. You're back on Medusa. You're back on Little Sisu. I think this deck is quite clean, and I'm interested to see how this matchup faces up, because you don't see this go down too often, as both Tipos are staring each other down here in this all-important turn number 3. Okay. I think we're all caught up now. That was the muting. The muting has been resolved. That's basically what we said for the most part. It wasn't as eloquent. Okay, no one got to hear you butcher Federico's name, which was which was, I can't hear you now. Now I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Oh man. Oh, now I'm trying to. Now I can't hear Luke. We're just
Oh,
okay.
okay. There we go. There we go. Is that
There
better?
it is. There it is. Much better.
I think I muted myself for 1 second to cough.
Okay, I was getting
It's an
scared,
early
man.
morning.
It
Okay,
is.
it is. I went to bed at 2 o'clock. I woke up at 7:30. That is not enough time in the world to sleep. But
Hey,
you know,
same.
a new episode of Severance dropped, and it needed to be watched immediately.
And that's me too, man. I didn't sleep very well last night. And shout out to TFM, the Forbidden Mountain Dan. He was supposed to be here with you in the booth, but he just came under the weather. So they tapped me in, and I was like, you know what? When my number is called, I'm going. And I
Yep.
wanted to come out here and support Luke and
So
support
you're
the
saying
LCCC.
that you got a hold of Baker, and he used some of the tea poison he used on
Mm.
Burns on Dick,
Is
or
that what it?
on Dan.
I would never
So
do that.
you were able to get another shift. I see.
No, no, no. I would never do that. I like Dan way too much. I respect the Forbidden Mountain way too much. And I was actually excited to see what Dan was going to have to say about this matchup, because I know he's a very strong player. And I hope him nothing but health and well being here in the next couple of days. Hopefully, he can fight this sickness and get back into this thing before the LCCC comes to a conclusion. It's a lot of rounds left, so there's plenty of time. I'm sure we'll get a chance to see what Dan has to say from the commentary standpoint. As it looks like we didn't pop that popsicle. He's going to be, maybe he just had it like behind another card or something, or he drew into another one. I can't recall, but it looks like Hiram has popped. Maybe it was just off the board a ways where we just couldn't quite see it.
We're jumping.
Okay. So we are going to ink the manor, and then we're going to one jump the Tipo. No, I don't think we one jump the Tipo. I think we just played the Tipo and played the one jump hardcast and keeping the Tipo active. Maybe not trying to quest and lose it in combat here through a challenge.
Oh no,
And we
we're
will.
going for the quest.
Okay.
He didn't really have anything else to do, so it made a little bit of sense to do it this way. If you're not going to play anything else, you might as well. It's kind of interesting. I wonder if Federico was like, I'm going to ink this popsicle on turn 1 because I don't want to get peated. Because if he goes turn 1 peat, turn 2... I guess one jump... What is that?
That is, someone has their impression things on their webcam, I think, and it's like a little thumbs up. Whenever you show a thumbs up, whenever it sees a hand, it'll do a thumbs up, and if ever it sees like a smiley face, it'll do a smiley face. It's like this really weird camera thing. I had it on mine for a while. I had to figure out how to turn it off because it is a little annoying. It's a little
A little,
jarring sometimes.
a little interesting.
Yeah, if he just does a thumbs up on the camera, it'll just do that. It's really weird. But mode it would be interesting to see if we can get this Clarabelle off next turn. You might get it, let it go. You might have to hard cast this, let it go next turn, because that Clarabelle could open this game wide up. As you ramp heavily, you depleted your hand. It's perfect time to ink, deploy the Clarabelle.
Well, chat's trying to say MC-O-TSI. Miko Toast. I don't know how to say the TSI. The TSI there to see.
Am I wrong? Are we both wrong?
Probably.
Mikochi, and Mikosi, not Mikoshi. I thought it was I thought it was Mikosi. I thought it was crushing, dude. I thought it was so close. Federico Mikosi, Mikochi. I will get it. We'll get it. My Italian is quite fire. I've learned.
In 5 minutes, they'll tell us. I mean, it's way better than mine, that's for sure. Just taking out the Tipo with an easy Sisu. I mean, there's not much else that the Sisu's going to be doing this early. Getting a little bit more ramp as he sets up to play a Tamatoa to actually get some pressure, rebuy the Popsicle, and get some more card draw. Not too threatening right now, but at the same time, threatening enough.
And also by doing that ramp play there, you're able to not only advance your advance your ink position, but you're able to play around this Clarabelle inadvertently. So now that Clarabelle was going to get some tremendous value coming into this next turn, but now, especially drawn to another uninkable card, you're not going to be able to get too much if you go into the Clarabelle play here. And then you could just take it down tempo, let it go, get rid of it, and you're so far in the driver's seat at that point. So this is an interesting turn for Mo. Let's see what he does here. Maybe he'll just go into the how far I'll go now, and then save the Clarabelle for a later date. And still holding 4, still pondering. You could ink that Pete, but maybe you're trying to save that Pete for a Sapphire Coil, perhaps, instead of jamming this Clarabelle. But that's your one inkable card.
Well, thinking about maybe inking it, putting it upside down, possibly, because we're going to be playing the cow. I'm pretty sure Clarabelle is going to come down, which is not even that great, but you know what? If that cow stays in play, which, well, we know she won't, but if she did, being able to ink Geyser and then sing How Far I'll Go would be game over. But this 1 of Let It Go, 2 of Let It Go, 1 of Let It Go is
It's about to be a devastating Let It Go. This is a back-breaking Let It Go, and Federico showing a little bit of patience, hanging on to it. I mean, usually Let It Go gets inked relatively early on, but you kind of held on to this card for a few turns now, and it's actually about to do a bit of heavy lifting here, unless the ink is not updated. Maybe you might ink this thing still and put the Tamatoa out, and no, we'll just go and hard cast it here. And that is a devastating turn. But this ink Geyser is actually looking quite good here. Maybe even if you go How Far I'll Go and then ink Geyser, your hand is replenished and your opponent will be stunned a bit. And if you can put another body into play, you might be looking okay. And you can even, I don't know if it's worth playing this Sail the Azure Sea. Maybe we just ink that and try to get it back with the ink Geyser. Let's see. As now you have something to think about. He's just counting out the numbers, seeing if it makes any sense, and you do have enough ink to deploy the How Far I'll Go here.
I just got by the folders again without realizing it.
The folders got you? A little bit of folder.
I tried to do some sneaky, easy, quick adjusting when I noticed chat was like, and you have the NAEU backwards, because silly you. So I was like, oh, I'll fix them, but I had them in a folder, so it live fixed it.
I don't know, man. The folder meta might not be the meta. It might not be the meta. I'm out of folder meta. I'm back in just straight up long form meta.
I made the folder to hold this stuff because I was like, oh, I'm not gonna cast again for a few days, so I put them in there. I forgot to take them out. So we're just digging for something. Mo needs some sort of threat to play to then also Ink Geyser, but we can't really afford to do it just that. Like, we can't just Ink Geyser. I don't think is enough because you don't want to just take care of all the resources when your opponent has characters in play and you don't. That's just like
True.
sealing your own death.
So we won't go for the ink geyser here. You're going to set up this small Clarabelle, and then you're going to kick it back on over to Federico, who does have a pretty sizable board. And now you can get into this Tamatoa next turn if you felt so inclined. I think the ink is actually correct. Never mind. So you only have 6 ink. You can't quite get to Tamatoa just yet, and you're going to have to continue to.
That is a 6-drop Tamatoa. That is
No.
a.
Oh, that's a gotcha. I'm so sorry. I did not recognize that. I didn't see the little slip. Hey, we gotta lock in though on these we call them proxies. What's the official term for the proxies here? These stand-ins. Test card. On these test cards. We gotta lock in on these test cards, okay? That right there, unacceptable. Federico, you gotta wake up, big dog.
I don't know.
Give me a little bit more effort. I think that is low effort. That's a low effort.
Little swig swag. I don't know what that is. It looks more like I don't even know what the proper term is, but I'm missing it. But it's just like a couple of symbols and then 2 lore pips, and I assume that's a 6 circled in the top left to show the difference in cost. Would you just want him to Sharpie on that poor Tamatoa? The man owns no other cards. He doesn't. He's just supposed to take some of his foils from his winning binder and use those.
Hey, this is a DLC champion. Okay, I don't want to hear I can't afford anything for one, and for
I don't
two,
want to hear that as a DLC champion. That doesn't work.
You get no sympathy. Okay, you guys can figure out how to put a sheet of paper in there and draw a picture better than what you got going. A little slip in a strip.
Did we use all of our brain power on playing Lorcana, not our artistic skills?
Federico, shame on you. Okay, I hate proxies already. I'm already big anti-proxy energy over here, and that right there, you need to do better. I'm kidding. By the way, I'm totally joking. So that is the Tamatoa happy as a clam there instead of the Tamatoa bling bling.
That's getting shuffled in the deck.
And it looks like we're going to go ahead and get a quest up here.
We're hitting our own thing,
and we are.
Makes sense. Got to draw cards. We got to do something. It's, those jump aheads were not, I think, the type of ramp that Mo wanted early. Like 2 jumps and a TPO. That said, I mean, realistically, this game was all about that one of let it go. Without it, we would have had a game. It wouldn't have been over necessarily. It might have been. I mean, a Clarabelle, and I'm assuming more ramp happening right after that is gonna be pretty good. But now I think it's gonna be quite difficult. Ooh, if there wasn't a Sisu over there.
Yeah, maybe. I think you might have to just take a super risk here and just go for this Mother Knows Best, put the Tamatoa back in the hand, and then Ink Geyser and just try to hope. But that Hiram being able to sing this how far I'll go, he's going to be right back on your case and all over the place here almost instantaneously. So it really doesn't matter. I think Mo is just up against it, and it just might be too insurmountable. But maybe you can even go with the Muses, perhaps, and then if the Muses can survive, which it won't, you can Mother's Knows Best, sing, bounce some stuff. Ink Geyser. I don't know what the way out of this is.
Chat says that the TSI is pronounced like Tootsie. So
Federico Mekutsi?
MC-OC.
Mekutsi.
I mean, it sounds way cooler than my last name. I mean, I'm changing my last name. That's how uncool my last name sounds, right?
I like it.
That was the reason.
We'll have to ask in the interview to get the correct pronunciation because we're both saying it super wrong. It's all good, though, as we are going to go ahead and sing that How Far I'll Go. And Mo is just...
He's just like, you can know what I'm grabbing. I don't care.
Yeah, this is just we're just in a fact-finding expedition at this point because it seems as if this one might be just over as Sisu just comes on in and just does some heavy lifting. You had to have it, and you absolutely did. And Tamatoa bling bling is going to be able to play, or so Happy as a Clam is going to be able to play this Ink Geyser for free, or excuse me, the Sapphire Coil for free, and then we got a quest in for 3 after the shift. So this game is just, the win is up, and it's going to be up to Mo to just draw one of the coolest cards never printed, and we'll see we'll check the top of the deck, just see what would have been, and it. As we rub it, and it is the geyser, and that's not going to do too much. As
it's just like, I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to worry about that.
And that is, honestly, that was the tail of that game, was that Let It Go. Had that Let It Go been something else, or you had the opportunity to get that Clarabelle to stick around for a little bit longer, I think you can probably open this thing up a little bit more. What do you think about how that match went, and where did it turn south for Mo?
Oh, I mean, Let It Go.
Yeah.
Just to Let It Go right there. I mean, I think that was the turning point. It was a game until that point. It could have literally gone either way. Federico had kind of a slower start, had some card draw, but wasn't really doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what Mo needed, right? Needed Frederick to not to do anything really, and then boom, Ink Geyser gotcha. But he couldn't afford to play Ink Geyser early when there's things in play.
Yeah, I think that's just how the game goes sometimes. I'm sure both of these players have been on both sides of that, as both of these players are worlds qualified. So this, as I stated before, this could be a preview, and this could be the beginnings of a meta deck. I'm really watching this Mo deck closely, because I think in my heart, I believe, maybe I'm just a relentless optimist, a ruthless optimist. I'm always trying to see the good in everything, but I really feel like this Sapphire Emerald strategy, these colors, they have way too many good cards. I think they have a solid enough cohesive plan. They can put something together. If it, but somebody just has to figure it out. Maybe Mo's on the right track. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know that some pretty good players have been brewing lists, and as known by the fans of the color combination, the Baja Blast style decks.
Mm-hmm.
Patent never coming because of Mountain Dew. But I'm scared, honestly, because as you said, they have like some insanely powerful cards.
Yeah.
And
like Bent to My Will, it's a ridiculous card. I think Ink Geyser is still stronger than it. Has a lot of potential. Under the Sea is insane card. You have that new Hero Shift one, is an insane card.
They're just polarizing is the problem.
Yeah.
Is like, when Ink Geyser's good, it normally will win you the game. When it's bad, it does nothing. When Bend the Will is good, it will normally win you the game. When it is bad, it does nothing. So these are very polarizing cards. Either like one person's getting crushed or the other. You don't have these like back and forth playments. Like, we don't have traps or instants or anything to like gotcha moment these cards outside of like, oh, they're doing it. Like, it's like if Bend was a song, it would be way worse, because then they could sing it, but at the same time we could Ursula it, right? Like, so right. I guess maybe Bare Necessities is not being played as much as it should. Doubtful, but maybe. And with all the extra items,
I think Bare Necessities is another card that should get more play now, especially in this with so many more songs. I think Ursula 2 stock, if I'm buying Ursula 2 stock wherever it is, because it's only going up. I think Bare Necessities is only going up because everyone's playing songs these days. There's so much Storm Rage on. There's so much Strength of Rage and Fire. There's just songs are just back in a major way. And I think that might be a good turn to play, just getting the Bare Necessities out, or just singing it late game to break up that Be Prepared like they used to. I don't know, something to think about. And we're all learning. And that's the beauty of this meta game. It's always going to be an ever-changing, what Pokemon say? I can't even think of the song.
What's crazy to me is that Foil Bell is $13, and it's a common. And Foil Ursula 2, an uncommon, is only $3.
Really? That's what I'm saying. I think it's going to go up because people are selling Ursula 2 because it was so bad in set 6.
Financial advice.
Yeah, this is a non-fiduciary situation here. Don't take this advice. But in set 6, Ursula was probably the worst that it's been, because people were just off
Yep.
of songs and it just wasn't a good card to play.
Pete.
Now, now it's back in a major way, and I think Ursula 2 stock is going to increase. So I'm buying mine, but you don't have to do that. It's gonna be what it is. So looking
Alrighty,
at
mine.
these hands, looking at these hands, we got another terrible proxy coming in from Federico. You got to wake up on these proxies, man. I need more effort. If you're gonna do these test cards or these proxies, you need to put the effort in to make them decent, at least at a minimum. Okay, what is that Maui right there? Is that supposed to be another half shark? Ridiculous. Okay.
Is that a half shark? Unacceptable.
Ridiculous. Right there, just a little sheet of paper in there. Hate to see it. Okay, that's my least favorite proxy. I'm gonna keep hating. I'm gonna hate in the interview too. I'm ready to hate.
Dude, JDZ woke up early. He wasn't prepared to cast. They give him the cast opportunity. He's like, I'm gonna bring the haterade.
I'm hating. I'm hating. I'm sorry. I gotta do it. We gotta change. You gotta change the world one step at a time. And he inked one pass. I was like, okay, it looks like you have
Okay, so
6 cards in.
I think that's why we didn't see the popsicle.
Mhm.
Is that it was slightly to the top left and out of the screen.
Mhm.
I just assumed that he's not aware that we can't see that little bit of his camera.
Okay. And it just seemed like, I think it might just be with the cropping too. No cropping. Oh, no cropping. He slid it in there now, so he's keeping the ink up to the far top left, and he's keeping the items to the medium top left there. As we'll go ahead and sell the Azurite Sea. Oh, I'm hating on the proxy there. I'm hating. I can see it. He holds up to the camera there. I'm getting a sneak peek of what this Maui is. Absurd. Okay, Federico, you got to do better. You have to. Mandatory. Next round, I'm putting your feet to the fire. I want to see something better than what you got going on here. As we will ink a sale, play the sale. Hey,
all my cards have not showed up in the mail. I've basically not been streaming a lot this week because of that. But I've got some spice to stream for a little bit after this. Really depends. Do you know off the top of your head when the next round is? Is there another match today that we're going to be raiding into?
I'm not sure, but I can definitely find out. I can find out right now. While it looks like we got a sale into the sale, we have the Pirate's Life is getting stacked to the side. Looks like those cards to your right might be cards your favor you're holding on to, as Pirate's Life find its way into the inkwell. Let me check in and see if I can see, because the schedule is kind of all over the place. I don't really know when the next round is going to be. I think this might be the only game today, though, from what I remember checking.
Yeah, a whole bunch have already happened. I know that the last one was finally announced, I think.
Okay, yeah, I think the Zan match is the last one, I think, and I don't know when. I think that was scheduled for the 17th, so I think we're all clear for today. As it looks like we're going to go ahead and jam the Muses here. Muses bounce Tipo doesn't feel too good, but Muses having Ward might be okay to defend yourself against this brawl to ensure you have a certified singer that next turn. But little Sisu can't target it either, so you should be okay with this Muses setup to harmonize one of these ballots you got on your side of the field, as you got your own Sapphire Coil. We'll kick it back on over to Federico, who's rocking another Tipo, so getting all the Tipos out of the way early. Do you power ramp here to play around the Ink Geyser, perhaps?
Does not play around it necessarily, but it does let you put things into play early. If we're how far?
Yeah, maybe he's just trying to fill up the inkwell and just say, hey, if you want to geyser me, go ahead and just give me some added value. I don't mind. A lot of people speculated that Ink Geyser actually might be good into this Ruby Sapphire meta, but it's turning out that they're fine with it more often than not, because you're just giving them back more cards that they put down into the inkwell early, and a lot of times they're inking Tipo and they're inking Sail the Azurite Sea, and they're just getting more chances to ramp again with better cards this time around. So I don't know if it is as powerful as we initially thought it would be.
It's still I still think it might be the right play here. Mostly because you can play it, then ink, and then sing one jump ahead, and all of a sudden you have 5 to their 3. He has nothing in play. It's basically like a 3-cost answer to 2 of your things. And yeah, now he gets to even sail afterwards.
Yeah,
he doesn't need this coil.
Yeah, I like this play. This could be nice here.
if only he had one more ink in play already. So
Yeah.
maybe he inks first so he can play the like ink, sail, draw card, play ink geyser, then ink. I mean, it's like equalized. It doesn't actually
Hmm.
really set you far ahead, but it cycles through it. And you have nothing else to use that for, and it's going back to your hand anyways. So like if you're just going to ink geyser and only make one ink anyways, there's not much of a difference outside of the fact that you won't have the sail for the next turn to then ramp ahead. So that's like
Mm.
the consideration is like if you think you're going to need to ramp again the next turn when you're going to be at 5 ink, then you keep it, but you can't
And I'm,
jump instantly to 7 no matter what you do, I don't think, if you're playing Ink Geyser this turn, to be able to play Clarabelle next turn, which you don't even have.
and I can't even think. I can't remember the cards that he put into the inkwell already, but I know that has to come into your decision making process as well. Like what cards you could potentially be getting back, and are they high value, high impact cards, or are you just going to continue to just, like you said, just burn a turn and really get nowhere in the process, as you'll elect to just go ahead and set up the Sapphire Coil now, and then hard cast the one jump ahead. Didn't see that one coming, as we'll put another one into the inkwell, and we will raise up the TPO, which is also interesting, as we'll go ahead and jam the sail, the Azurite Sea, into the inkwell. So that turn went a lot different than I had anticipated. It looked like you're just trying to flood your inkwell and hold out hope for some draws, as the Muses is thinking about going on a quest here. No, we're just going to pass.
Well,
Maybe playing around a
I
Maui.
don't think you can turn this Muses
No,
sideways.
yeah, because Maui is a
So
thing that does exist.
this play's not terrible at all. I mean, Mo had 2 plays here: pull the trigger on the Ink Geyser or set up for an Ink Geyser later. And I have not played the deck, so it's quite possible that Mo took the better play, and I was just too cowardly and wanted to pull the trigger early.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but what Mo has the ability to do now is like bounce anything he plays for a few turns, and like he can't be prep away the Muses yet. He can't interact with hand, and as long as the Mother Knows Best is there, he can Mother's Knows Best the one threat and then Ink Geyser. But if he implements multiple threats, then that game plan is not great. But I
Mm.
do like Mo having fun here,
Let's
clicking
see.
the Mother Knows Best.
Thinking about, is this part of the thinking process? You think whose turn is it? It looks like I see
It's
Federico moving,
yeah.
but he's
He
got the
has to
green box on
play
the Mo's screen there. As we are going to
3
sail,
threats to not
we
have them answered. So yeah, it's it's gonna be tough, I think, for a turn or two.
we do go ahead and sail, and he's trying to find another card to place down to the inkwell. This, I think Federico is just way too out front. I'm not sure what Mo is going to get done with these cards you have in hand, unless you got some bombs down to the inkwell that we just completely missed out on. I just think even if you do go ink geyser, I think with just so many opportunities to ramp and get more cards and keep the momentum going, I just don't think it's going to be enough unless you put, because you got more T-pos are going to be coming back to your hand probably on this ink geyser as well. So you're just going to ramp and get right back to the business in just a few turns. And you really don't have a lot going on with only your 2 cards in hand. As Tipo is going to come on down to the field yet again, will deploy his effect, and it looks like you're hanging on to these Sapphire Coils. Just get one of those on into the inkwell face down and exert it before kicking it back on over to Mo, who's already got the green box, it seems. All right, so it looks like we're going to go and pass back on to Mo, who is... Wait, are we passing? Are we still thinking? Maybe you got more cards you want to play?
So I think Mo might be agreeing with you, and that is one of the reasons why he didn't pull the trigger. It's because he knows he doesn't have anything to really reset. So a reset at this point would just be card advantage,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like it.
Yeah, and it's really your opponent is going to get so much more value. They've put some tremendous cards down to the inkwell, whereas you've put down just cards that you really just didn't need to get to this current point that you're in. But at a certain stage of the game, you're going to have to play it. And But one fortunate thing you have going for you though, if you are Mo, is that the score is equal. You guys are both knotted up at 0, so your opponent does have a little bit of card advantage, a little bit of ink advantage on you, but no lore advantage,
Ooh,
and you're kind of fine with that. This manner, that could be the game changer right there
like
that you've been wanting all
that.
along.
That could be a reason, but Mo only has 6 ink. Um, Mo decided to get the coil in play to power up what muses can bounce, and doing so hurt. But honestly, just jamming the location and passing is not bad.
I'm with that action, man. Let's go ahead and get that manner on the board right now and just say you don't got it and see how that bad boy can climb up to 20 on its own. And this Mother Knows Best Ink Geyser combination might have to get you out of the next potential threat because the Hiram's going to come down and he's going to pop. He's going to get some type of advantageous card. And it looks like Mo is spinning up this Ink Geyser now. I think, and maybe if you go spin up the Ink Geyser, that will tap all your ink. I don't know. I think just man, like you said, I think manner pass and then you set up the Ink Geyser next turn.
If you could only float ink.
Oh, he's going for it. He's ripping it. Oh, man. I think he might look back on that one and be like, oh, I wish I would have just played this manner. But I don't know. Mo is a nationally qualified player, okay? He is a world's qualified player.
There's definitely a game plan. Maybe it's because he knows he can easily commit that next turn and still not have like an answer. But did we see a Maui get inked earlier?
Yeah.
Oh, we saw Maui Shark get
We saw Maui Shark, 2 of them, I believe. One was a fake one and one was a real one, going down to the Inkwell from the Ruby Sapphire point of view. And it looks like we got 3 cards have going to be set to the Inkwell. He's going to add
double manner. Okay.
Okay. So that is your turn.
I think I'm inking the muses, but maybe that's not right.
You're trying to keep some other bona fide singers of it.
Sales fine.
It looks like you're trying to put. You might have to put that sail back into the Inkwell. But like I stated, man, look at this hand from Federico's point of view. Now he's really restocked, reloaded. He got the vision back. He got the pirate life back that you put down to the Inkwell earlier. The Maui, I believe that's Maui half shark, not regular Maui. So that is, I mean, still, even that guy is really strong in this position.
Inked, yeah, the half shark stayed in the Inkwell.
Is that half shark or is that Maui? Because I think that's now he definitely has both of them after you draw them to the Maui. I think that's the Maui behind the Pirate's Life is the Maui with the sheet of paper on it.
So had he played the location, Maui and Tipo could have put it down to 2. But then Ink Geyser happens, Mother Knows Best happens, bouncing the Maui, and then the Muses takes out the Tipo. And then the next turn after that, you can deploy another location. But Mo was quite patient, and I'm assuming had a plan. Or maybe it was just like, I cannot let them get to 7. I mean, if you're Federico, would you be playing a B prep just on a single Muses?
No way. Especially with only 1. I think he probably would save that B prep to way later in the game, especially looking at the deck list. These are open deck lists, so the opponents, each player knows what the other person has, and you realize your opponent's not playing Bent to My Will. You have a lot more freedom to just maintain all the cards in your hand instead of trying to just flush those things before your opponent can rip them. So I think Bend to My Will might, as much as I dislike that card, that might have to be something that this deck needs to be playing, just to have something else to do when you have all that ink advantage, and then you can Bend to My Will the next turn, or Ink Geyser one turn, and then Bend to My Will that next turn, or something like that.
To really go crazy with Bend after an Ink Geyser, you have to have a way to ramp back up to 7. So there's a few ways. Maybe we need to be playing the items that ramp your actions. This would be the time to do it. It's like your deck cards, your Star Vial, like play Ink Geyser next turn, try to like do that. But I mean, I've seen people try to do it with Iago and stuff like that. But
yeah, it just always ends up bad. But I'm telling you, there's something there. There is something there. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm not smart enough to figure it out. But some 10-pound galaxy brain can come out here and figure out this blue-green thing and get it to be a tier 1 meta threat again, because it was very close last set. It was very close in set 6. We're not quite there yet in my estimation, but it was super duper close. And now we got all these new tools. I think that there is something there that can be exploited to just be something that can contest this Ruby Sapphire Ruby Steel world, or Ruby Sapphire Steel world that we've found ourselves, as we're still thinking of how you're going to do it, as Hiram is back on the board, able to get some more advantage, doing what he typically does best. And now you're going to go ahead and set up this McDuck Manor, and that bad boy is going to not be long for this world, as these Maui's going to come in harmony, start taking them
Oh,
down.
that I do see a piece of paper on that Maui, so that's definitely one of each.
Mm-hmm.
That's a shark and aggressive 5-drop one. Yeah.
The hero to all, Maui. I like that. I like that card, man. I'm a big fan of Maui. I enjoy his energy. I like that card a lot. I think it's a good design, even though it's a bit OP in my opinion. He's a little overpowered, but still quite good card. Very fair and balanced for the most part. Still maybe a little too broken. I don't know. As he's going to be able to. Okay. As okay, so it seems like we're going to finally get that Muses down into the inkwell, as Mo is trying to put together the pieces to the puzzle to figure this thing out. This is not looking like a great spot for Mo at all. I'm not gonna lie, as we're gonna put one damage onto the Tipo, or 2 damage. Are you trying to take the Tipo out? What's happening here? As we're just going to go ahead and just pass there. Kicking it back on over to Federico, who is going to get into the hideaway, and that hideaway is brutal at this moment, because that McDuck Manor is basically all you got going for yourself right here, and the hideaway is going to be able to take that away pretty cleanly. And if you wanted to get even more crafty, since you have these extra sapphire coils in hand, you can start questing with this Hiram to get even more cards. Just the threat of Bent to My Will not being a part of the equation just really allows Federico the freedom to just continue to just load this hand with more and more and more cards, as Hiram is going to elect to sing the How Far I'll Go, which is an hilarious thing to think about as well. Hiram the Flaversham singing How Far I'll Go always cracks me up when it happens, but it does happen quite often, as we got the Madame Medusa is going to be remained in the hand. Thinking about putting that bronze in the inkwells, not going too far with these Muses up with that ward keyword, as you're just going to continue to deploy cards to the field. Maui is going to be activated now, spamming Maui to the board and electing to just go into the manor with these 2 characters instead of utilizing that hideaway. Maybe just trying to save the hideaway for another turn. And you feel like you have all the characters you need, all the stuff you need in order to control this board. You're Clarabelle here. I know you don't have the ink to do so, but Clarabelle might be your only saving grace. You do have these Mother Knows Best, and you draw into the Transformer Baymax. I can't remember his sub name, but Baymax, the transmorphic shift machine out here doing his thing. He's going to be up and active on the board. No, is that strong enough? No, that's not strong enough. You could, in fact, shift this Baymax, sing Mother Knows Best, and hope, but that's definitely not going to be enough, because you need to figure out a way to gain some more cards. You need to gain some type of advantage, as you're just going to straight up pass, it seems. So just draw and raw pass. You hate to see it. You're trying not to ink this McDuck Manor. You're going to need that. No, you're not raw passing. This is your turn still. I'm looking at the green boxes, so that is a little confusing. I do apologize, but we are going to go ahead and add that second location to the board, as that that hideaway is just looking stronger and stronger, as we will sing the Mother's Knows Best. We will put the Maui back to the hand, which feels not great, but that will kind of slow your adversary down just enough. So you can go Maui, take out first McDuck Manor, and then come on back in with a hideaway, and you're just so far ahead. You also can blast his Muses if you felt so inclined. So you have opportunities are endless for Federico, as he's in full control of this game, just trying not to fumble the bag down the stretch. You're only at 1 lore, which is, one. You still got a long way to go, but as you know, this Ruby Sapphire strategy can pile it on with the quickness, so 1 can go to 20 just like that, as Hero to All is back on to the board. Is going to go ahead and slam on in either to the muses or into the manor. He has the challenge. He is reckless and wild with it. So we're going to see exactly what he wants to do. And I just know that Mo is got to be feeling like, hey, if he can sense the walls closing in and just senses how this thing is going to go, but you're always going to play it out. That is the way of a champion. You're not going to just scoop it up and give it up. Oh, as Luke is back, Luke has returned. You scoop, you give it. You can't scoop. You got to fight. You can't give up. It's just. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, that's where you just got to get to it. He's got to find it. That could be a good way to turn the tides a little bit. If you can get to a Clarabelle, bend in my will, you might be able to stabilize as you're only sitting at 3. It's only 2 to 3, man. So maybe I'm too I give up too quick. Maybe that's my downside. I give up too fast. So getting to a Clarabelle, getting a billion cards in your hand, and then getting another Ink Geyser to activate could put you right back into the fight. So we'll see how it goes as it looks like you're thinking about putting this universal shift into play right now and just starting to contest the position as you'll go ahead and put them on out paying the full retail value, not shifting. Yeah, it's it's pretty sad. You want those things to go a lot longer. You want to get them set up after the ink geyser goes off and not getting them Maui almost immediately. But now it's looking like you can have the opportunity to continue to advance your position, maybe even putting the Maui half shark into the play. One of just play. If you're gonna play one, please play the real one. Please don't play Jun 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 jun. Oh, is there classic music going? Is it going crazy? Oh man, I need to step my game up, dude. You need to send me some tracks. I can't hear it. I would love to hear it. I would love to be a part of that world, but apparently I'm over here in quiet town, leave me hanging. But it's all good. It's all good. Oh no, it's all right. It's all right. So we're gonna go ahead and keep that patent pending. Let it go again. It went extra strength Tylenol in game number one. So maybe this one can go just as strong in game number two, as that could be. It is patent pending, patent approved, patent copyright. Let it go is out there as it's gonna be Maui fake shark is gonna go into the ink well. I'm assuming that's Maui half shark. It could actually be somebody else. I'm not even okay. I like that. I like that. And and it goes down to the inkwell, and then we will go ahead and play the Medusa. Look at that, as Medusa go ahead and takes out the Transformer Baymax, puts him on into the discard pile. As you play the Sapphire Coil, reduce the strength, and you're able to banish this character for little to no effort, man. Which that is the power of Sapphire Coil. Ugh. And the same thing has happened last time too, but at least on this one, if you do get to the cow, you will be able to draw plenty first. He got two. Oh, I wish you can keep them both there if you're Mo, but you can keep one, or you might keep this geyser. I think if you have to go for a cow, even if it gets let go, you could at least get a huge drawing 1st. Hmm. That'd be nice. That might be too broken. It would have to be like it'd have to be like a 6 uninkable or something. It would have to be yeah, it would have to be yeah. Because you have dig a little deeper is a 10 cost sing together that does something. It costs 8. Oh my bad. 8. Still sing together, uninkable. That thing has to be that sounds like a very broken card that you're describing right there. True, 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 true. But you can set it up, man. You can do like some manipulation and get that thing. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm That's what I'm saying. Just let me get 7 puppy. Hey Luke, you're muted. I think are you
How am I
unmuted?
muted? How am I muted? I swear I unmuted to
No,
talk
to the
with
chat.
you. But for you, oh, fantastic.
No, Luke. No more early games for Luke. Oh, dude, because you left and you went to and you came back. You never unmuted yourself. But we got it. We got it. Luke was cooking too, man. Dang it, dude. Okay. We're back. We're back.
We say our best things when they can't hear us.
Am I muted too? Was I muted that whole time?
No.
Okay. We got it. I'm so sorry. Stream. Hey, you guys know. If you guys know what it is, you guys know what time it is. This is not your first rodeo. These LCCCs sometimes have some technical issues. We are working it out, and it's going to be good. Okay, just stick with us. Give us the patience, and we'll get it. We'll get it back. But we do appreciate you guys in the chat. Thank you guys for being here and observing the LCCC with us on Wonder Twitch. We're working on it. We're working on it.
I think it's been enough of a hassle, JDZ. I think we're gonna have to pull out the big guns and do a live delayed stream.
A live delayed stream?
It's more effort, but we'll have someone else do a delayed stream to us, like record the footage, then send it to us 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, and then we'll be live. And that way, we cannot accidentally be muted. We'll know immediately as soon as I come back from having to use and take care of some stuff. Suddenly, I'll be able to know instantly that it's not muted. We won't have to wait 5-10 minutes. But
yeah.
These are we have to give some and take some. We want to be able to see their hands to give the full experience of knowing what these players are thinking and what they're doing. But because the curse is the fact that I'm not good at my job is the downside of such a thing.
And it's I've been on your side. I've experienced all the issues on my own broadcast, and I'm telling you, it's such a powerless feeling sometimes because you got to wait. There's no with the delay, you won't know until the delay has transpired. So
it's
you just got to sit here.
It's actually a trick to make chat talk more, to get the chat interaction up. So Twitch is like, oh, he's got a lot of people chatting.
Okay, so you're mega braining it. I see. As we're gonna keep the Vitalosphere. Interesting. So this is a very good spot. I think you're gonna have to. You didn't take the hand down too much. You didn't ramp or anything. I think you still might have enough ink to play this Sail the Otherite Sea to potentially play around a Clarabelle if you felt so inclined. I think you have ink left to do that. And just to get your hand a little bit lower, and it looks like you're going to go ahead and put the Sapphire coins in the inkwell. We're going to get the Vitalosphere going just to get your hand down a little bit so Clarabelle may not be able to hit you too hard, but you do have this, so you will be able to get a nice sizable draw in. You got the Mother Knows Best sung by the Muses. You can bounce back a card, fill the hand up a little bit more, bounce back the Tipo if you want it, and then jam in the Clarabelle, ink your card, and draw a sizable amount there. And that could be enough.
What Mo needs is he needs to baby Clarabelle, knock an item out. And then end ink this turn. Has to visions hit the baby Clarabelle, knock an item out. Then next turn draw. Oh man, he's still short. He's short in ink. I was like, then he needs to top deck Ink Geyser, shift Clarabelle and Ink Geyser, but he's 1 ink short from doing that actually. Yeah. No. He sings Mother Knows Best, targeting his Muses. Then he has the ink to do it, but I don't think it's good. I don't think it's
that would be
because
insane of the opposing board if you were to do that.
But it'd be hilarious.
So you can go Mother Knows Best, and since you have the Sapphire Coil, you're able to reduce the strength of whoever, and maybe you can bounce another key card back to the hand, sending Maui back. Maybe, I don't know. No, he's sending Tipo. No, you can't get Maui weak enough. I'm sorry, you only drop him down to 4 since you have the other Sapphire Coil in hand. Maybe you could have inked the Sapphire
Little,
Coil and held the Visions in that case.
but he got the cow out, and that's really what was important. Is because now it might actually be a game.
Yeah,
It is unfortunate that Mo has to lose the muses here. It is quite
it is.
unfortunate.
It is, but he does have another Clarabelle in hand. So if you go Let It Go here, if Medusa or Maui sings Let It Go, and then you get the muses taken by one of the challenges, and you can now maybe get a Clarabelle Ink Geyser combo set up for follow on turn, and just continue to just evaporate your hand and just continue to drive on. So this game might actually be able to turn around for Mo after that Clarabelle was able to stick. This is not the worst possible spot, but I sense a Let It Go is coming soon. Stay tuned. If we can get a repeat Let It Go action, it looks like you are okay with that, perhaps, as you're also playing this game with trying to milk your own hand. Someone says, I would have used the Medusa on the Muses. Wochuck. Wochuck is a much better player than that. I know he's trolling, but that's pretty chill though. You know good and well you cannot. You know the Muses has a keyword of ward.
Bait.
I'm being baited. I'm being baited. I'm being baited. He got me. He got me. Wochuck. Hilarious person. Okay. I think Wochuck's quite funny. He got me with the bait. I jumped right into it. I took the bait. You know good and well that the Muses has the keyword of ward, and it cannot be targeted by Muses. Trick. I'm baited. It's okay. We're good though. We're good.
I like
We're
how
all
he's like, I'm gonna play this so you know I already had it. I'm not gonna play the visions now. I don't need to. I'm gonna save it for something I need. Nope, I'm gonna play the visions now.
Just to let you know, I like that.
Let you know I had it. I'm gonna have something else. It's like demoralize you a little bit. it's not a fantastic visions. It's not bad, but it just draws more card draw. Like when the visions is bad, it's still good unless you're about to lose the game. Then it's definitely bad. Ooh,
and you do have that half shark too, so you're just gaining that incremental lore as well. So you're fine with this. Getting another card, getting some more ramp going, getting some more stuff. If they do decide to ink guys you, there's just more value coming to your hand.
Maui.
So both real Maui Sue. Okay, I like to see that. It goes in exerted, and it gain another lore going up to 9. So now it's getting to that critical point, critical mass. It appears as you're sitting at 10 ink. Ink guys is going to be a +7. Hate to see it. If you are Mo, you don't even want to play as ink guys anymore, and you don't really have anything to sweep the board or to flood the board. No heavy questing guys. Like, how do you win? I think it's going to be a full control thing. You have lost control. This thing has kind of gotten away from you a little bit. So we'll see how this turn goes here. And one jump ahead, yeah, just like that. One jump is not looking like it's in a pretty great spot here. Granted, let's keep in mind though, as these players had to submit these deck lists literally one day after the set came out, either the day of the set release or one day after the set was released. So they didn't really have a lot of time to test these theories or to craft these decks. It was just like, let's put them together, let's see if it works. But the beauty of this round of LCCC is that they're going to be able to change their deck list each round, but they have to stay within that color pattern. So everything that they've learned from this matchup, they're going to be able to switch it up, to change it as the meta develops. And I think that's going to be an interesting case study and a lot to learn from going on into the next rounds of this tournament. So don't judge it for right now, but what it could potentially be. And I see the theory, but it's just not quite coming all together in this matchup.
Definitely need the big red light. I need to like just add it right on top of my screen. That's like, you're muted.
You are muted.
The problem is that I have not one mute, not 2 mutes, but 3 places that I could be muted and not realize it. Granted, one of them's Discord, which isn't going to matter for you, but could matter for other people. If I was being interviewed, that could matter. But then I have OBS mute and I have my mic mute. And I swap between those because if I want JDZ to hear me, then I have to mute myself in OBS because then he can hear me in Video Ninja, which I technically could mute myself there too, but I never mute that one unless, well, I mute it when I'm doing the ICL because you don't need to hear me talk to people in Discord while you're casting, right?
Yeah. And it's a series of twos, man. And it takes a lot. It's a lot behind the scenes. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of buttons. It's a lot that can go wrong. But I do think that you're elevating the program over here. I like what's happening. I think it looks very professional. We just gotta, it's sometimes there's gonna be mishaps. And it's not on purpose. It's an accident. No one's perfect.
Nope, I do it on purpose.
You do it on purpose.
How dare you
Luke.
watch my stream? I do it all on purpose just to get at you all. I'm just like, viewers,
No.
Twitch viewers, how dare you?
Yeah, this was a 7 a.m. start time for me. I'm West Coast United States, so this is early. It's early morning. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the EU viewers out there. If you guys are in EU, welcome. You know what I'm saying, to the Wonder Twitch. I'm JDZ. This is Luke on the Wonder Show, Wonderland on Twitch. So we're gonna get back into it. We just have some more technological indifferences.
Somehow not my fault this time. They're just refreshing really quickly, just a small crash.
Okay, we got it sorted. The players are all standing by, hanging on. So give some chance to get back in and catch up on some chat really quick. See what's happening out there in the Luke Twitch, Luke chat. Exert a card when you hit the mute button. Then ready to unmute.
They're still roasting me for the mute issues.
Dang, you're getting lit up. They are turning on you, man. The crowd is turning.
It's fine. It's fine. Cool. They were they gave me grace with one, and I appreciate it. The second one, I agree. That was definitely more than it needed to be done. At least they could hear you. I mean, that's important, right? When we had you muted, that's unacceptable. But when I'm muted, that's fine. Like, as long as we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, they're letting you have it, man. But it's all good. I think it's in love. They understand. You can feel the love behind it because I know a lot of people appreciate.
I made these smaller.
We're not muted again. You should just mute us both for good measure. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
And he's muted. You can't hear him right now because I muted him. That's what he gets. All right, I unmuted him though, so I make sure.
All right, so we're just still having some technical issues here on getting the game back into the fray, into the play. They're just refreshing right now. You guys are not missing any action, and it looks like we are back.
Oh, okay. Boom, baby!
And we're back and better than ever.
What do you think of my teapot?
Let me check you out. I saw your teacup. I saw that's your teapot. It looks clean. I saw your teacup. I was quite jealous of that. I didn't see the teapot.
I think it's they said it was an espresso cup, but I think that might be what it is. I think the teacups are a little bit more wider. I'm not using the proper drinking device for what I'm drinking, but.
Okay. So it looks like everything happened the way that we thought. It looks like we put the Clarabelle down. Clarabelle was promptly let go. A lot of actions went down. So bringing Federico up to 9 total, 9-3 now. So now you need to maybe continue this momentum. You have the Sapphire Coil up. You can probably play another Sapphire Coil, ink a card, Cloud Kicker, blast something, but everything you're going to blast is just going to be a slow inevitability as you're just going to send the Grandma Tala in.
So Shark is a 7/5. So there's this weird world where we play another coil and then
ink, and then one jump ahead, you can do whatever after that.
I wish that was I really, really wish that Pete was a baby Clarabelle.
Is he? He is playing baby Clarabelle and Pete as well.
I'm just trying to figure out if there's some sort of way we can play Clarabelle, Ink Geyser, but we also have to kit the Shark. And to kit the Shark, we have to play the coil, and we have to double ink.
Yeah.
Because a double ink on its own is only 4, so it still doesn't get kitted. So we have to play coil double ink to make it a -1. And then Maui's still in. The Maui and the Medusa are annoying, but they're fine to be in play. We can maybe answer them later. Like, we just need to get all that ink out of here.
Yeah. And then if you go, I think Ink Geyser just might be a bridge too far. I mean, I guess you could, in theory, just go for Ink Geyser now and just hope, but I don't know if that's the right play either. Maybe you can play this, develop your brain now, just kind of burn some of your cards, because you need to find some type of answer. I don't know if the deck needs a let it go. It needs something to clear characters off the board, because you keep bouncing them back to the hand and they'll just keep redrawing them. Maybe you can go for a develop your brain and maybe get to the your welcome or something and spend some of these impact cards back to the deck and then set up your Clarabelle. I'm not sure. So this is still a pretty tough spot for Mo. He is trying to make a game out of it, dragging it later and later, but this board position for Federico is just looking very commanding here at this point. As we are continuing to stare, the stare down commences.
I assume they're discussing something based on his hand movements. All right, we're Ink Geysering.
It looks like...
Oh, we're not Ink Geysering.
Yeah, we are going to go for that.
Oh, but there's a coil. Okay, that makes sense. I was just thinking he could play it and then Ink Geyser if he needs to.
And we will keep another Pete just in case another Sapphire coil comes in. I'm looking at the...
He also kind of wants to, like, empty his hand out as much as he can.
I'm looking at the stream now. On the stream 5 minutes ago, I know you have the picture of Mo and Federico up on the thing. I don't know if that's...
It's because the screen went down, remember?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Their thing went down.
Got it. It got sorted, though. It got sorted, and we're back and better than ever now. All right, so we'll go ahead and ink that Pete, it seems, as we'll get another little glitch in the matrix. Another little series of matrix glitches, and we're just have to reset it again.
I'm assuming it was because the lore count was wrong.
Gotcha. And it has been doing that lately too. So it looks like we're going to go ahead and put another shark on into the play. Federico really understanding that there's really not a way to interact with any of these characters on the board. Once they get established, all you really can do is just bounce them back to the hand at worst, and at best you can you're welcome it, but that still feels quite terrible too, because you're not truly getting rid of it. As you're going to go for the popsicle now, feeling a little bit more confident that you can go for the Clarabelle play that next turn. And you'll just go in for a nice little quest, go in for additional 2, going up to 13. So next turn, you probably can send some Hirims in there and maybe get some 1 cost or some more actions and just try to end this game next turn, perhaps. As you have 3 lore on the board, and you're just going to put a couple more characters in just for their lore. As Hiram goes down to the Inkwell. Yeah, so this could be a pretty dynamic turn next turn, as you have 2 Maui Half Sharks up and active onto the board. And then you have that Hiram who's going to be able to draw and get some more
cards.
Goes
to look at the card, the screen cuts out.
It's all good. I think they're just trying to make sure the lore counts are accurate. Yeah, and the ink totals. So just a little bit of refresh. Again, huge shout out to the judges. Huge shout out to the staff for being quick on that. There's just a little glitch. We've been glitching, but it's pretty good though. I'm still chilling with it. And looks like we're just waiting on Mo to get back in. Woo!
Yeah, so he's refreshing it so that we have updated lore count, because the lore is not being updated in the spectator.
All right, so Mo is just having some issues getting reconnected back in. He should be coming back in soon, but this is we'll just give him a wait. He's probably just viciously stacking his deck, getting the exact cards he needs to get this thing. I'm kidding, by the way. That is a joke. He's not doing
So the
that. We're
white
just
screen is not his fault. If it's a black screen, then he could be messing with his camera. But a white screen is like a loading thing. Remember, we
okay.
are playing across the world.
Yeah, yeah. I know Federico is in Italy. I'm not sure where Mo is located. I think he might be somewhere in the East Coast, I would assume. Okay, so they're just getting some. We're just having some technical issues. It's all getting resolved. It's all getting sorted right now. So I'm gonna kick it back over to the chat. We got Imbo Slice says, "I wish the players were asked to have somewhat recognizable proxies when using them on stream. It's really not too much to ask." I agree with that 1 quadrillion%. Okay, that's not even a real number. I just made that up. But I couldn't agree with you more. Okay, if you're gonna disrespect me, so I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Not disrespect.
Jeez, JDZ's laying it down.
I have.
Disrespect my cast, will ya?
I just don't like proxies at all. And I am anti proxy. If you don't have it, you just don't got it. If you don't
That's
have it,
so
you just don't have it.
privileged of you.
Hey, I've been on the other side. Okay, I came from the
Do you have
nothing.
friends over there?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Dang, looks low key funny. That's quite good. But I have been on the other, and you just got to make it happen. That is the beauty
Yep.
of the trading card game. You got to get out there, and if you don't have it, find another way, or go out and search for it. But I understand this set just came out, and these cards are quite expensive, so I don't want to.
It's
Make it
definitely
money.
something like I played Magic for over 20 years,
Mhm.
and I did not own everything. But man, I can see the sun's rising where you're at.
Yeah.
uh, like, luckily, I had a big community, and we all loaned each other cards.
Mhm.
So like, you could normally find a card if you needed it, and I didn't realize how privileged I was at that time because I had a few people who had played since the beginning of the game, and you really take it for granted when someone loans you $3,000 worth of cards to play in
Ooh.
like a weekly locals when you're like a 17-year-old kid,
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, dude. What's a place at a dual lands for the day? Who knows? No, those
Yeah.
cards now are currently about $300 to $400 a piece.
But if you
At the
but if
time,
you
they were
do
only like
yeah.
20, 30. But
If you do have to make a proxy, I think you gotta like there is some levels to it. I think the highest possible level, you've got to get on the printer and like scale it out and print the full color version, which I think is relatively cheap. Maybe it costs just the ink and the printer. If you don't have a printer, go to your Kinko's or library
so
or something.
as I said, I played Magic for a long time, and I did use proxies. I preferred to use a backwards card with a Sharpie because it's the fastest way to make the proxy deck. Like if you're sitting with 5 or 6 people, like, oh, give me a second, buddy. I gotta like fill out this form online and print it out and then cut each one. No, just like give me a stack of cards and a Sharpie. Let's play. You
Nah,
know,
nah, no, we're not doing
duality
it.
of man. You're just like you need to be prepared for this play session, and
If
I'm like I didn't grab my
yeah,
cards until you showed up to play games.
but I think that's a different level. Okay, but if you're gonna do these proxies and you got 226,000 people all over the world watching you, we're above the Sharpie. We're above the scrap of paper. Okay, you need to lock in. You need to get your pen out. You need to draw an image. Okay, hand drawn Sharpie, hand drawn test cards or hand drawn proxies. They're the best. Okay, if you can draw it yourself, try to draw a picture in there and put the stats in there. Try to make it look exactly like it looks on the card with your own hand. Those are the best proxies you can make because it shows that you gave a little bit of dedication, that you do care, and it works out. So okay, so I think I'm hearing some stuff on the peripheral. Looks like we. All right, I think we're gonna resolution here from what I can hear in the in the interim. I'm gonna close this.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
we're gonna work with what we got.
But we could just have him. We could just have him. He just needs to mute. He just needs to mute his. If he can mute, hit that mute button. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, all right, all right. We got it. It seems like we got a resolution. So we have to stream it this way, but it's going to be Federico. We're not going to, unfortunately, not going to be able to see his hand anymore, just due to the fix that we had to have. So it's going to work out, and it looks like we are going to go ahead and deploy this ink geyser now, which is not bad, but still, you have those double sharks are up, and you are for
Yeah, we need to
sure.
find an answer to those sharks.
Yeah. And you have one, you're welcome, which could be the answer to one, which is good because you have the Grandma Tala who can then turn around and sing the you're welcome. And then if you can get some, I don't think you've inked yet for turn. If you can get this one jump ahead going too, you might be able to,
Well, unless he sailed as well, which I don't think he did.
yeah. So maybe I'm not giving up. I'm
Wait,
not giving
is
up. You have double coil.
Clarabelle?
Clarabelle is on the field right now,
He has
and you
10.
ink guys are here. Yeah. So you
I
got
mean,
Clarabelle down
so if he
and
has
ink
10
geyser.
ink, then that means he's about to put 7 cards in his hand and have 9 cards.
And then I think this Grandma Tala is dry, so Grandma Tala is gonna be able to sing this "You're welcome," and you're gonna get even more cards to your hand. And you probably have to "You're welcome" one of these Mauis for sure, and you get another manor back.
Mana's not what you want right now, though. You need
No,
answers to these demons in play.
yeah, you might have to take one, and you might have to spend one of these Mauis back in because you just put all those cards back in,
We
and you
have double
just
coil, though. If only that answered is shark.
yeah, you can't even challenge the shark. Those things have an evasive is just really, really powerful. And you will go ahead and you're welcome here. You're welcome. We're sending probably that undamaged, ready half shark back to the
Yeah,
deck. Adding two more cards,
just in case they
and
didn't have enough cards in hand.
I think that you already inked as well this turn too. So you might not be able to continue to ink. And you'll bring how many cards are in hand? I can't see Federico's hand anymore, so I don't know how many cards they have,
Oh,
but
they had 12 ink before
mhm.
the before that happened. So 9. They're probably like 15 or 16 cards. We're gonna see here in a second how many cards Mo is about to draw at end of turn. It's a lot.
Okay, so you will, even though you have a ton of cards in hand now, you still will be able to draw even more cards with this Clarabelle. And then next turn you can go for another Clarabelle. You need to just figure out a way. If you can just clear this half shark in a relatively easily manner, and look at that. So now we'll know how many cards Federico has because you're drawing once. That's so many cards. That is so many cards. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Hold up. One, two, I can't even tell how many cards. That's a lot of cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 cards in hand for each player. And just like that, if you can manage to clear off this half shark, clear off this Maui, you can continue to do this combo over and over and over again. Keep drawing with Clarabelle. I think you've already utilized your allotment of geysers, if I recall correctly. I think you've already played at least two, and I know you're only playing three, or maybe I think you played all three. I can't recall. This game has gone on for a long time. There's been a lot of stop and go, so I can't
Yep,
really
just
recall how
3.
many he plays three, but I'm not sure how many he's already used. Maybe we'll get a quick fan on the Discard real quick.
2, I
And
do believe.
I think two might have been deployed already. As Maui Half Shark is going to gain one.
It's definitely a card you want to see, but you do not want to see it in multiples. Mo playing with his little pink buddy. All right, chat. What's the name of that character?
I think his name is Moe's Rabbit. Moe's Rabbit. Final answer. As Let's see. So that is 2 of your ink. You get ink return, and you're kind of forced to not really do too much. I guess you can just quest all the glimmers right now, and take out the Grandma
Quest all
Tala.
glimmers. Well, I have no idea what that means.
Oh, you just quest all your glimmers, man. Get them exerted, and
What's a
get
glimmer?
a glimmer is a character, right? I think, yeah, that's what it is. I think I'll have to look it up again. A glimmer is, I don't know the lore. It's a thing. Yeah, glimmer is a thing that I think all the characters are glimmers instead of called like in Yu-Gi-Oh or in Magic. I think they're called monsters.
They're
No, creatures. They're called creatures in
creatures
Magic.
in
They're called
magic.
they're called monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh. They're called creatures in Magic. In Lurkana, they're called glimmers
They're called
or characters.
characters.
They're called characters, but what is a glimmer? Let me look this up, man. I think it's a thing. No, we'll wait till after the game. We're going to check it out. But I think glimmer's a real term. The glimmer's a real thing. As we're going to go ahead and ink one of the sapphire coils, and there's a world where if you can clear this Maui half shark, you can get back into this game. You could do it, as you got a lot of questing going down there, as you're going up to 16, Maui half shark is going to quest again.
I mean, there's 2 forgottens, maybe. Oh,
Ooh, never mind.
that's just game. Oh,
You went up to 19.
19. Never mind. It's still.
Ooh.
Still, if there's another pirate's life, the game is over. And
yeah, and he's got a
easy.
billion cards in hand, so there's a very good chance that there's going to be another pirate's life. No Pete coming in this color combination, so this game probably just comes to an immediate and screeching halt instantaneously, as you're probably going to have to play all of these your welcomes right now to clear this board, because everyone's got to go. Everything's got to be clean, as you do have the muses as well, so you can't clear this board this turn. No, you can't. I'm sorry, I forgot you only have 3 ink, so never mind. Forget I said anything. You absolutely cannot.
Studio mode just got me. Studio mode just got me. Studio mode just got me. I checked the stream. They're like, just imagine what's happening.
Oh god!
Because I had to like change it to knock it off to like swap them back, and oh man.
Oh man, dude. Oh goodness.
Have fun waiting 5 minutes. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Like I had to like swap between the things.
Oh no. Oh no. Not like this.
At least they got to hear you talk about what wasn't happening.
Oh no. Are we back? I'm catching up to the stream now. It's just a blue screen of death. Oh, it's so deep and it's so blue. Oh no. Oh no. Not like this. When we will go for the muses. So that is almost, and this Pete can't sing. As we're going to go ahead and you're welcome. We got to hit the half shark for sure. As painful as that is, we'll get the half shark out, and then we can bounce the Medusa back to hand, or bounce the Tipo. I just don't think you have enough utility. Actually, yeah, you can bounce the Medusa since you did ink this turn, and then you can. You're welcome. Bounce the Medusa, and then you got a 1 jump ahead. What's Pete is a 1 or 2? He's a 1.
1-2.
He's a 1-2. Yeah, he can't do much. He can quest, and I think the game just comes to an end. So never mind. The game just ends there, as it is going to come to an immediate and screeching halt, and GG's all around to both players. As Mo tried it, I think the deck is cool, man. This deck is doing some cool stuff, but it's just missing. It seems like it's missing one little element, one little piece, and it's just going to be one of those things. And I'm sure as this game goes along, as this tournament goes along, and as this set goes along, I think more ideas are going to come through for this color pattern specifically, and it's going to be an opportunity to do something cool. Someone's going to make something cool out of it. So that's going to be GG. I'm going to get into the Discord now, and we can start talking to these players and getting their feedback and hearing what they have to say. And then I'm gonna trust you to do all the muting and unmuting. I know this.
Why would you trust me? Obviously, I have no idea what I'm doing.
This is the redemption. This is redemption. Okay, yo, hello, greetings, and salutations here on the Discord. Let me mute myself onto the video this time.
Oh, I already have you muted, baby.
Well, you
Okay.
can
Okay.
unmute yourself and tell Fed to jump in Discord for a post-game interview.
Absolutely. All right, all right, all right. It looks like the players are going to be joining us here very soon. We just talk about their decks, talk about how this match went for them, and some of the things that they were looking out for, and how things turned down. And this will be a great opportunity for you guys to learn more about these color patterns and learn more about these players. Right now, I think Mo is
Hello.
here. Oh, yo, Federico, how are you?
Yeah. Good.
I'm
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, all right.
congrat.
First things
I just want to.
first. How do you
Okay.
say your last name?
Oh, my last name?
Yes.
Oh, I actually like the funny thing about it is that I actually have two last names,
Ah.
but I'm just using one for, to make it easier for everyone. And it's
Well,
Mekotsi.
Mikotsi. I was nailing it. I was
Yeah.
Mikotsi.
close.
All right,
I was
all right.
close, man.
I was far
That
off.
was a good pronunciation.
I did
I
not
was
do
close.
good. JDZ did great. I did not.
I was close. I was close. But congratulations on your victory, Federico, coming
Thank you
out
so
and
much.
playing the Ruby Sapphire strategy. One question I do like to ask often is when you guys come here as a DLC winner, as someone who's qualified to go to the World Championship, what made you bring Ruby Sapphire to this tournament in this set 7 meta? And what do you think about it? What cards do you enjoy? And just talk about your deck first.
Okay, so winning a DLC with a specific deck always means something else to the person who won. Like the deck, you always want to play the deck you did good with,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I try to update it with the new set. And lots of things are coming out right now, so I just wanted to play a solid, but like with a bit of mix, with a bit of everything
Mm-hmm.
inside it. Just because honestly, I just really enjoy this kind of tournament because this just for the community. So like everyone is talking about, the blue steel, the new Oswald version and everything, but I'll just try my best with the red blue, see how it goes. I really still think it's a really solid option.
Mm-hmm.
The DKP list has been everywhere until set 7, and I still think it will be good. But with just few minor adjustments,
Oh,
and like the set 7 is just came out, so yeah, just let's give it a little time before we I've seen every single tweets about banning Bell, banning
yeah.
Oswald.
Doom,
Itself was
doom, doom.
like exactly. Just give it a little bit of time. Let's see how it goes. Of course, the new Blue Steel is crazy good, and but like the main point and main problem, in my opinion, is that there's no big events right now confirmed,
Mm.
which it's a little bit, I don't know, don't want to say disappointing, but for
I'm pretty
us competitive
sure.
players,
Don't you have a
for
nice
sure.
event in like a week and a half or 2 weeks?
Yeah, like here in Italy, but like
Yeah.
some DLC, some DLCs, I would love to.
Oh, I
I
do agree.
talked about with lots of guys, and you know, last year, which was the first year that kind of competitive as the tournament started. They started in April, if I'm not wrong, with DLC Lille here in Europe, or maybe May. I don't know. It's April or May. But like I don't understand why they are trying to focus always on the second half of the year, basically, and just not on maybe the first few months. We've seen, like, of course, DLC Melbourne, which was the first tournament for them and everything. But I've talked with a lot of guys, and we're just really excited for hearing
Oh yeah.
some good news. Yeah,
Mm.
so and the World Championship as well, of course,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
That's
it's something.
It dev- I don't know if you're aware, but they've been hiring higher up positions for tournament organizer here in the United States, so that could be correlated. But I do agree, and I really hope for next season that we get to play DLCs all year round, right? Like not knowing when the next DLC is going to be at any time, I'm not a big fan of.
Especially when a new set comes out, like we have,
Mhm.
you know, the new Tamadoas, the new Scrooge McDuck, and everything, which is right now, if you want to buy them, it's like a little bit expensive. So, like, without any good DLCs, of course, you in America have lots of good, huge tournaments that I envy you a bit.
Some of
Because
us.
here in Europe, here in Europe, they don't like there aren't that many tournaments so big as yours.
The
So
area I
we're
live in
just
the
waiting,
United
you know, for
States is similar to how some of you Europeans are feeling. I am in the middle,
okay.
so all of the events are on the coasts, so I still have to fly anywhere to go to anything if I wanted to.
Damn. Okay, understand. And so yeah, let's just wait. Hopefully, just a little bit and pray for some good news. Now set 7 is out. I honestly wanna like congrats Mo to bring such a fun and unique deck. Pretty sure it's the only green. I mean, it is the only green blue in the tournament. And yeah, I mean, like I love when someone can come up with something really this spicy, especially for the new expansion. Sadly, I'm not one of those guys, and I just stick with the most standard list, I guess, with just few ads. Yeah, I mean, performed well. It's a bad matchup in my opinion for Mo, especially
Hmm.
because I'm playing the CISO's version with coil. So every single time I can clear the clear up bell out. And I'm with the tipo, I'm just trying to keep my hand really short to not give him as many cards as possible that the turn is someone Clarabelle. And that was pretty much it. Yeah, I really enjoyed
Nice.
it much.
Nice. I do like both of the decks, but I got one more question to you, champ
Yeah.
Federico. What's with these proxies, man? I need to see those proxies better. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
offended by your
wait,
proxies. They're
wait, yeah,
so
yeah, of course.
they're so low effort.
Like,
Okay. I need you to put more
wait,
effort into these proxies right away. Okay. Next round I see when
you
you're playing, I want to see better
wait,
proxies.
I'll show you guys right now. You're seeing the
Oh,
we're
one
live
second.
here.
One second. One second. Let me.
Okay, I'm just checking them out. Because first of all, I was like, oh, I don't have the Tamas, so I'm just gonna take the previous Tamas and just ride on top of them 70 euros with two lures,
Oh, 70
Horrible.
euro. That's
which is
what it was.
yeah, yeah. I'm
Horrible.
sorry.
Horrible.
Yeah,
Okay. I need you
yeah,
to do
really
better.
horrible.
I need you to do
Wait,
better.
and
I
you
don't
didn't see
know.
the Maui. You
Not many
didn't see the Maui
proxies have
because
the price written too. I don't know. I kind of like that. They're like, you want better proxies? Give me 60 euro.
wait, where's that Maui?
Yeah,
Maui.
the
Okay,
Maui
here you
shark on
go.
Maui.
This is
Sheesh.
50.
Oh
Basically
no.
the same one, but 50. I don't know, man. Like,
Okay.
what
Okay.
can you
Okay.
do?
Okay. I'll give you a
For the
break.
next round.
Next round, I want you
Next
to draw
time.
a better picture. I want you to hand draw a better picture so I can see what those cards look like from your point of view.
Of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Oh,
will just I don't know. I will make it by my whole hand, like
nice, nice, nice.
with
That's all I ask. But we also have Mo here. So Mo is also worlds qualified. You brought a very unique and interesting strategy to this tournament: blue and green, emerald and sapphire. Can you just talk about this deck, Mo? I wanted it to pop off so bad, but it felt like you were just missing one little key element. I know you didn't really have a lot of time to
Every
test this
turn.
strategy before you sent it in. So can you just talk about this deck? Why'd you put it together this way? And what are some of the lines that you may have missed here? And what are you planning on doing to make this deck a little bit stronger going into that next round?
Oh, absolutely. So definitely think this deck's a little underrated, and sadly I
Hmm.
could not showcase it today. But when you're looking at this level of competition, I don't necessarily want to play Ruby Sapphire against a DLC winning Ruby Sapphire player. I don't
Right.
want to play like blue steel against some really quality like blue steel players. So I think going with something a little under the radar could give me a little bit of an edge there. And it's a
Attack
deck
the
I've
meta.
put, yeah, a decent amount of time into. And so, really, I did have some unfortunate hands there.
Mhm.
One game I had too many cows, the other game I didn't have enough. But it just kind of, the power level of all of these Sapphire decks at this moment in time means that if you slip up just for a second, you can just get blown out of the water so fast. And but I do think this is a really interesting take on anti-meta. I hope I get to showcase it a little bit better for you guys next week, or if anyone's watching the Hunter Burton tournament this weekend, this is what I'm committed to taking. But this card gives you such an advantage um, compared to really a lot of other cards in the game. It's almost like a tempo card in a way,
Mhm.
where you sort of fight back the board, establish whatever threats you can get established, and then you reset your opponent back turns. They can't B prep you ever after playing this card. You can't follow it up with a big Sisu or a Maui Shark. And you could kind of see in that last game, it is too little too late by the time I was able to establish the big play.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
the goal is essentially to geyser muses and just keep your opponent kind of locked out of the game while your other stuff is collecting
Yeah.
the chip lore.
If there
But
wasn't a pirate's life there at the end, you might have had it. And then in game one, he had the one of let it go for your Clarabelle was so heartbreaking to watch. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
know that one crushed my soul. I think my removal suite was looking something like this in that last game. So I think if it wasn't for Pirate's Life, I could have, at least put us on for another 30 minutes or so. But
Nice.
yeah,
Definitely.
like I said, too little, too late there. I had one turn earlier on where we had a little bit of a malfunction in the stream, and my brain kind of slipped. I was meaning to kick Cloud Kicker a Maui Shark back to hand, and instead I
Mm.
played a Grammatella. And at the end of the game, that extra amount of lore from the second shark being played, I think, really added up over time.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that was a big one. It's a very punishing deck. It's got a very simple end game in terms of locking your opponent just kind of out of the game, but it definitely takes some steps to get there, and you can't really make too many mistakes along the way, or else a fantastically talented opponent will take you out real quick.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did you ever consider? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Luke.
I was gonna say we were talking about earlier that it's like this deck is scary, and like I don't even know if I want it to be part of the meta because when it does its things, it is very punishing. It's very polarizing. It's like, oh, you don't get to do anything, and
You
people don't
definitely
like that.
don't.
So
Yeah.
it's
I've been
so
making
like
the joke all format that this is what I've done. Like, if I can make this popular, this is my gift for them taking green purple away from me this format.
Yeah.
you don't let me
Did
play
you
tempo, I'm gonna punish you.
Yeah.
did you ever consider cards like Bend to My Will or Under the Sea for this
Mm.
deck? Those are very powerful cards, but they're very situational. Do you just want to maintain consistency and not play those cards, or what are you thinking there on those two cards
So
specifically?
absolutely have to consider them. And, I'm not going to give away too much in case anyone's going to
Yeah.
be at the tournament this weekend, but some of those cards are going to find their way into my deck list.
Ooh.
Um,
Yeah.
When it comes to Bend, well, let's talk a little bit about the simple one. Under the Sea was a cut like last second. It was in my deck list. You can talk to Pavel. It was in my first iteration, and then I changed it like 5 hours later because I was really expecting a lot of decks it would not necessarily be so good against. Like, I'm not particularly fond of it against red blue or blue steel. So I made the cut there, and I'm like, if I run into the more aggro-oriented decks, then I'll just take that as a tougher one. But then, so when concerning Bend to My Will, it's a really interesting card, and an open deck list format, I think, facilitates running a one of that card because if your opponent has to respect it constantly, it's definitely always on their mind. But I think in terms of power level, this card, as we start playing with it more and learning more about it and the game states it enables, I think it's just more powerful in general. To set your opponent back that many turns removes the opportunity of top decking a power card. Like, the problem with green blue in the past is you would play bend and bounce your opponent's stuff, but they would have such an advantage from the early game. There's a lot of ways they can top deck their way to victory. It was the main weakness of the deck. And I think this kind of removes it. But it's just really hard to facilitate alongside bend, because if you bend and then geyser, unless you're doing it like in the same turn, because geyser taps all your ink, it just is hard because you're giving them resources back and still enabling them to play the game. And so, like, the best case situation for bend is you re-ramp yourself and then bend them on the turn after you geyser. But it's a little tricky and a lot to ask for.
Okay. So I guess you're more in tune with it, and you have tried this thing out a lot. But I'm personally excited to see where it goes, because I truly feel that this color combination doesn't get the love it is due, and I think they have so many good cards that are allocated to these two specific colors. And I'm glad that you're out here as a world's qualified player that's dedicating some time to try to make this thing work. So you are an inspiration to me, and a lot of people might be watching this content. They're going to see these videos. They're like, well, Mo's trying it, and they can have at least a starting point to continue to build from. And I expect before set 7 ends that this could be a viable strategy in Disney Lorcana. But thank you again for bringing this deck, and thank you for playing and your participation to both of you players. I do appreciate it for sure.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. All right, Luke, you got anything else you want to throw in there before
Well, I mean, we definitely got to shout out the people, like the viewers, for putting up with all of the issues on all of our parts, mostly my part. Pavel for, hooking us up with this great program and this great event as well. The judges doing a fantastic job. All the casters, the English and non-English ones, making it so everyone gets to watch it, even if you don't speak English. There hopefully will be a caster casting in a language you might be able to speak. And, just in general, like, the people crave more Lorcana, so let's give it to them.
Absolutely. And back to you players though. DLC champion Federico, do you have any shout outs you want to give? Where can we find you if we want to see more Federico?
Oh yeah, you can find me on Twitter, on Federico, and for sure I'm gonna upgrade soon my, I'm on Metafy and trying to help as many people as possible, because Red Blue is still like one of the most represented, but right now we have a bigger enemy, which is the blue steel, and we gotta find a solution to win against it. Like, too many Oswalds, I don't care, but
Too many Oswalds.
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
And what about you, Mo Shamblin? I like your rabbit first. What is this creature that you have to the right of your screen? Can you just talk about that for a second? What's this device? I don't know if we can see it on our screen right now. I don't know if Luke has the visuals up. But what is this? What is this creature? What is this thing all about? Was it bringing you luck? Was it bringing you despair? Can you talk about this real quick before you get some shout outs?
Despair.
So this originally was a dog toy that I stole because I loved it and didn't want them to destroy it. And it's just kind of unnerving, isn't it? I don't know. I really like it. But no, my daughter plays with it, and no dogs have actually played with this. I just stole it from them before they could.
Okay.
Make the tongue stick out
he was
again.
kind of signifying my emotions, jumping off the table sometimes, sticking its tongue out at certain draws. The fun stuff.
You definitely made it lick a Clarabelle, I think, or an Ink Geyser, one of the two in a game.
Yeah, that was him approving of that draw, I think.
Nice. It has a mind of its own. I love it. So where can we find you though? Any special shout outs you want to give? My fellow mustachioed menace. You know what I'm saying? I am a mustachioed man as well, just like yourself. So where can we find the more mustachioed Mo?
Gosh, I think that means we have to have a collab in our future. But
I think so. It needs to happen.
Yeah, so shout out to Team Infinity, my new team we dropped this week, and super excited with everything coming from that. But all my friends that helped me test and put up with playing against this deck through so many rounds of practice. And you can find me as that Mo Kid on Twitter. I am, so super special shout out, gentlemen. I don't know if anyone's heard, but I got married yesterday. So shout out.
What? Let's
go. Yeah.
My
That's
wife.
huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's huge.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congrats,
I
man.
did see the Illumineers. You were on an interview there with them, and I thought you guys were already married. The chemistry was there. You guys had a lovely little situation there, and I enjoyed you a lot getting to hear your story and hear about you and your now wife, former fiance. That's really congratulations to you. That's such a huge milestone, and hopefully nothing but happiness and joy in the next upcoming years. That's incredible. She let you come out here and play Lorcana here day after the wedding.
That's funny.
Insane.
Yeah, we've got a honeymoon / celebration planned in Orlando, but we just don't have a date for it yet.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I don't know
right?
why that is.
Oh, look at
but-
that. Look
Yeah.
at that. Well, it should hopefully it's happening soon. I'm sure they're working tirelessly behind the scene to get this world championship set up. You go there and win, that'd be a great and then go to Disney World. That'd be good. That'd be good. Anything can
Wow.
happen. That'd be a fairy tale ending right there.
I hate to try to spoil your honeymoon, but I'm pretty sure Frederick and I are going to try to not let you win that event.
I wouldn't have it any other way, Luke. Any other way.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Okay. Well, gentlemen, I understand it's probably early or late wherever you are. Again, from me as the co-host of this broadcast, I want to thank you both for doing this. As I state every time, it's a huge service to the community. You guys have the skill, you guys have the determination, you guys have the mindset to do this, and you don't have to. So we all appreciate it. It gives a good content to the community, and also a lot of knowledge is being shared. So thank you so much for your contributions and your participation, and we do all appreciate it mightily.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Take care. Take
Bye.
care.